Starting off at number 10, we have Cao Dai. Now this has absolutely nothing to do with sacrificing cows, so don't worry, you can keep watching. There's no animal cruelty in this episode at all. Cao Dai, also called Taoism, is a syncretic religion that's native to Vietnam, and that big word syncretic means the reconciliation or fusion of different belief systems. Cao Dai means high tower or high places, and it was founded by a man named Van Chiu, who claimed to have received revelations in 1919 during a seance. Ooh. Then things got really creepy, okay? So Van started talking to this spirit, and the spirit started talking back to him, and he said that his name was Duke Cao Dai. And as creeped out as he was, Van Chiu, he believed that he was talking directly to God, and from there, Taoism was formally established in the year 1926. Cao Dai contained certain principles from Confucianism, Taoism, beliefs in karma and rebirth from Buddhism, and organizations similar to Catholicism. Next up is Falun Gong. Falun Gong means law wheel practice, and the main Falun Gong text is Zhuan Falun, meaning rotating the law wheel. It describes the wheel of law as a mystical orb of energy that rotates in the lower abdomen, and the energy gives health and has supernatural powers linked to it. Falun Gong is a Buddhist-based practice of meditation and moral living. Although it came on the public scene in China in the year 1992, its roots go way back thousands of years. Today, tens of millions of people practice Falun Gong in China, but unfortunately for people who practice this, they've been the target of intense persecution, especially since the year 1999, when the Chinese Communist Party began the anti-religious campaign to eliminate Falun Gong practices in China. The Unification Church is up next, so I'm about to take you to church. Amen. Yeah, well that's more like Southern Black Church, but this is totally not that. What the Unification Church is actually a religious movement founded in South Korea by a man named Reverend Sun Myung Moon. The religion was originally known as the Holy Spirit Association for the Unification of World Christianity, but since the 1990s it has shifted into a collection of independent organizations associated with the Unification movement. The Unification Church sees Sun Myung Moon as the Messiah who will put God's love into his followers and complete the work that Jesus started. Born in the year 1920, Sun Myung Moon was raised in the Presbyterian Church, which eventually excommunicated him for heresy. According to his teachings, the world was created from God's inner nature, which is reflected in the two expressions of life. The first is Sang, meaning cause and masculine, and Hyung Sang is result and feminine. Sun Myung Moon believed that although Jesus was able to create the conditions necessary for humanity's spiritual salvation, he did not marry anybody, so he wasn't able to complete God's plan. No surprise why he got excommunicated, bringing up ideas like that. At number 7 we have Aladura. So Aladura mixes Anglican, Pentecostal, and traditional African beliefs. Now there is a big emphasis on healing and attaining salvation in this life. The religion's ministers are given an iron rod, and it symbolizes the powers of the prophet. A minister who is viewed as a prophet touches objects brought by people who come for prayers and for healing, and apparently some real miraculous things start to happen. The term Aladura means praying people in the Yoruba language. The Aladura movement started at Ijebu-Ode, Nigeria in 1918, and this movement later transformed into the Living Faith Church worldwide and to the Christ Apostolic Church. Today, many churches in the western Nigeria are labeled as Aladura. Moving on to number 6, we have Eckankar. The purpose of Eckankar is to make God an everyday reality in your life. It's a religious movement partly based on elements of yoga and was founded in 1965 by Paul Twitchell. Paul Twitchell was at one time a student of a yoga master by the name of Kirpal Singh, and Kirpal Singh believed that the universe was created by sound waves, and so the style of yoga that he practiced was known as sound current yoga. Because Paul Twitchell saw himself as a direct descendant of ancient sound current yoga masters, he modified the teachings of sound current yoga into his own spiritual movement that became known as Ek for short. Members of Ek believe that every person is a particle of God called soul, and people who follow this religion believe in the concept of karma and reincarnation, and that the goal of life is to become a co-worker with God as opposed to becoming one with God. Now, don't think I mentioned this, but the word Eckankar means co-worker with God. Asatru is next. The term Asatru is a Scandinavian term consisting of two parts, Asa referring to the Germanic god and goddesses, and Tru referring to faith. While Asatru was a popular religion in Iceland, some people had been converted to Christianity while traveling in Europe. During the first centuries of Iceland's history, Christianity just had a bigger impact, and by the end of the 10th century, it was clear that Asatru was on the decline. Asatru was only re-recognized as a religion in the year 1973. The basic teachings of Asatru involves keeping the major festivals of the year, which generally fall on the solstices, the equinoxes, etc. And these events would coincide with the natural calendar and the changing of the seasons. The two main styles of ritual celebrations that are done in honor of gods and goddesses are called blot and sumbel. There's also a lot of cultural and social activities that happen inside of this religion, but those who practice it are viewed as heathen. Okay, so I want to talk about the builders of Adityam, or Bota for short. Adityam is a Greek word for inner shrine or holy of holies. Like Jesus, who many believe was trained in Kabbalah, members of this order aspire to build the inner temple to construct the holy of holies within. And holy of holies is just a reference to the most holy place, which was the final compartment of the temple used by ancient Israel. Also, Kabbalah is a set of teachings meant to explain the relationship between God and humans. Bota was founded in the year 1922 by Paul Foster Case, and he was a senior member of the secret society called the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn in the United States. After a disagreement with Moina Mathers, who was the head of the Golden Dawn at the time, he left the Golden Dawn and formed a separate order. Some members of the Golden Dawn followed him as well, and they believe that Kabbalah is a mystical root of both ancient Judaism as well as original Christianity. Moving on down the line, we have Mazdakism next, and no, this is not some weird 50 Shades of Grey kind of spiritual practice. It's completely different. So the Mazdakites believed in two fundamental principles, light and darkness. Light is endowed with knowledge and feelings and acts by design and free will, whereas darkness is completely ignorant and blind and acts randomly without any sort of direction. Mazdakism is a religion founded by Mazdak, who is a socialist Persian Iranian reformer, prophet, and religious activist in the 6th century BC. In his early years, Mazdak was a member of the Zoroastrian priesthood, and the guiding principles of Mazdakism was to increase the light over the darkness through tolerance, justice, kindness, friendship, and love. Moving on to Cheondoism. Known as Cheondogyo in Korean, the name stems from a Korean word meaning religion of the heavenly way. And this is a belief system where God is both transcendent and also operates within heaven, earth, and inside of human beings. When one dies, one doesn't actually just go to some sort of other heaven dimension or anything like that, but rather they return to the one being. The fundamental doctrine of the religion is that all human beings are equal because all people serve God in their minds when they're born. The full essence of Cheondism is said to be contained in a 21-word formula that's recited as a way to enlightenment, and it's translated as follows. May the creative power of the universe be within me in abundance. May heaven be with me and every creation will be done. Never forgetting this truth, everything will be known. And the final religion, Candomblé. Candomblé is a religion based on African beliefs, which is very popular over in Brazil as well. Followers believe that every person has their own individual orisha, which controls his or her destiny and acts as a protector. Now, those who follow Candomblé believe in one all-powerful god by the name of Aladura. And by the way, orishas are deities sent by the supreme god. Most orishas are said to be deities previously existing in the spirit world, and some are said to be humans who have been venerated, similar to Catholic saints. Collectively, ancestor spirits are called Baba Igam in Brazil, and this is also known as Igongun in other parts of South America. During important ceremonies, priests and priestesses will masquerade as Baba Igam, and then they have these specially choreographed dances in order to become possessed by each ancestor. Also, there's no concept of good or bad in Candomblé. Each person is only required to fulfill his or her destiny to the fullest, regardless of what that looks like. But this does not give you a free ticket to do whatever you want. Candomblé actually teaches that any evil that you do or you cause to be inflicted on somebody will definitely be returned to you. So starting off with the religion at number 10, we have the KAKURE KIRISHITAN. The KAKURE KIRISHITANs are Japan's secret Christians. After the Tokugawa shogunate banned their religion, the followers took cover and hid their presence as much as possible. KAKURE KIRISHITANs, they remained hidden for hundreds of years, and even after the persecution ban was lifted in 1873. Developing in the shadows, this religion formed into a fusion of Catholicism as well as Shintoism and Buddhism. Yeah, pretty interesting mix there. They got rid of their relics, they disguised Mary and Jesus as Buddhas, and they covered up prayers as being chants. So they had to get pretty crafty in their methods. However, they still retained their original Latin Christian music and songs originally associated with the religion when it was first introduced. Alawites come in next. This is a secretive sect of Islam that dates back to the 9th century. The followers worship Muhammad's son-in-law Ali as a god, and they deny women having souls, and also they believe in reincarnation. Sunni Muslims, now they look at this and consider them to not be Muslim at all. And Alawites are actually accused of using Islam as a front to hide their actual beliefs. Like, for example, fasting means keeping secrets, and pilgrimage is a visit to their sheikhs. So that's very different from how the rest of the Islamic world uses those terms. They say that 1 in 12 Syrians are Alawites, and the president of Syria, whose name is Bashar al-Assad, he is a follower of this sect. The religion at number 8 brings us Candomblé. Candomblé is a popular religion in Brazil, and it mixes Catholicism with the veneration of traditional West African orishas, known as deities or like helper spirits, like lesser gods, whatever term you want to use, that's an orisha. Their god is assisted by lesser spirits as well as assisted by personal guide spirits. However, they do not believe in good and evil, rather they believe in personal destiny. Since the 1970s, when the ban on public gatherings without police permission was lifted, people started identifying more with this religion. And over the years, evangelical Christianity has been growing a lot in Brazil, and to combat the political influence of those Christians, some followers of Candomblé created a Candomblé political party known as the PPLE, the Party for Freedom of Expression. They do not want to be viewed as devil worshippers, but they want to be considered as legit as any other religion, and they aim to keep their African-derived religious traditions alive. Next up, at number 7, we have the religion Yazidi. Numbering about 700,000 in the entire world, the Yazidi are so secretive that many of its beliefs, they're not even known by their followers. Their holy books are hidden from the lay people, and when you're initiated, you have to promise to never reveal the Yazidi secrets. After centuries of persecution, the Yazidi are very cautious when it comes to outsiders, understandably. Under the rule of the Ottoman Empire, they actually faced 72 different genocides. They practice things such as baptism, they pray 3 times a day, but when they pray, they face towards the sun rather than Mecca like the Muslims do. Santeria is at number 6. Santeria, which stands for the Way of the Saints, was brought to Cuba by slaves. It developed in the 18th century, mainly among the Yoruba people of Nigeria, who use Catholic saints as analogs, present their orishas, which are the semi-divine spirits like I mentioned earlier. For centuries, Santeria was condemned, and centuries of persecution and oppression sent the religion into hiding. The faith owes its survival to its rich oral tradition, which has them pass it down from one generation to another. Halfway to number 5, we have Chinese secret societies. China is officially an atheist country, and their Communist Party recognizes 5 religions: Buddhism, Taoism, Islam, Catholicism, and Protestantism. So as you can imagine, many religious people who don't fall directly under those umbrellas, they gotta gather in secret. A lot of Christians do this as well. They gather in private homes or in other locations just to practice their religion. Just to give you an idea, China currently has an estimated 65 million Christians, but half of them worship in secret. The religion at number 4 is Umbanda. Umbanda is Brazil's only homegrown religion, and the religion was founded by a psychic medium actually, and his name was Fernandino de Moraes. And what he did was he took a little bit from African traditions, he took a little bit from Catholicism, took some from Spiritism, and took a little bit from indigenous beliefs, boom, combined them into one religion. And one branch of this religion is known as Umbanda, or black magic, and it's now considered to be a separate religion though. There are about 400,000 followers of Umbanda, and most of them practice in secret just to avoid any sort of vandalism or any sort of hate that they might face. New Mexico's crypto-Jews falls into number 3. During the 15th century, Sephardic Jews who had been in Spain for centuries were actually forced to convert, or they would lose their lives. So many pretended to convert, but they remained Jewish in secret, while others fled for their lives. Now, New Mexico, which is a state in the United States, has long held a tradition that it was settled by crypto-Jews. And over time, DNA testing has proved this. So less than 1% of non-Jews possess the Jewish Kohanim gene, but it was found in 38% of those who were tested in New Mexico. So yeah, that long-held tradition is actually true. It's believed that the population of crypto-Jews settled in the area when the Inquisition spread to Mexico. These hidden Jews, they have practiced in secret for a long time, and today many New Mexicans who were raised Catholic have now officially converted to Judaism to embrace their true identity. Number 2 leads us to Chuetas, sometimes spelled with an X at the beginning. The Chuetas of Mallorca are crypto-Jews who have been persecuted for centuries. Their name is believed to derive from the Catalan word for pork. And the Chueta, they were forced to convert to Catholicism during the 15th century Inquisition, but many continue to secretly practice Judaism. The Chuetas have easily identifiable last names, so they were ridiculed and blocked from getting certain jobs and even blocked from certain educational opportunities. Now, the government of Mallorca recently apologized for a 1691 massacre where it had 37 Chuetas burned in front of an audience of 30,000 people. So it's no surprise why they would go in hiding, just like those who settled in New Mexico. Now we end this episode off with Druze. The Druze practice a very secret religion, and it's actually derived from the religion of Islam. It incorporates elements of Christianity, Hinduism, and Greek philosophy as well. But yes, Druze do not consider themselves Muslim, although yes, the bulk of their religion does come from Islam. And following the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, most settled in Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and Israel. They generally stick to mountainous territory for self-determination, as well as to maintain the secrets of their religion. They don't want to necessarily be mixed up with all the rest of the common people. Only those who attain certain levels, known as ukal, participate fully in their religious services and have access to the holy scriptures of the Druze. So yeah, if you're at the bottom, you're not really gonna know what Druze is all about. You gotta be initiated higher up.